I don't want to go too crazy into this, but like I remember like when it fell, like I jumped up, ran out, and I'm like in my underwear. Like I ran outside and like it's pouring down rain. It's
Which is
windy.
funny because our daughter parked her car
Oh yeah,
like directly across from our bedroom. So
hey everyone, Forever and Counting Love here.
hi, I'm Serena.
I am Anthony, and something a little different. How was your week? Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Okay, so we're coming out of
Hurricane Helene.
Helene, which is it's been a week and a half.
A week.
Wow, and you could say that we were. Can you say that we were affected by all this?
We got the wind damage from it.
We got wind damage, and I mean,
Power
okay,
outage.
let's scooch back a little bit. What was the storm before?
Helene? I don't
Before
remember.
Helene, that night.
Debbie.
Debbie?
Yeah, because everybody kept going, Debbie does Brooksville.
So there's two big trees outside of our bedroom here, and like literally like our bed is like right here,
where you can't see.
And in the middle of the night we heard those trees falling. And I literally, like, I woke up, I grabbed her, and I literally thought for like a microsecond, like, this is it.
Yeah.
Had a good run. Just like,
and the thing
I thought for sure the trees were going to fall in the house, and that was it.
Our bedroom, like the house that we rent, it's called an A-frame. So, but our bedroom is in an addition. Somebody had added it on to it, which is fine. It's a nice big room. And I'm thinking, well, if it's going to fall on us, our daughter sleeps
right above us.
No, not above us, but right in the corner.
Upstairs.
Right. Yeah. And I'm thinking, oh my God, we have to go and get her.
So I remember, like, I don't want to go too crazy into this, but like I remember like when it fell, like I jumped up, ran out, and I'm like in my underwear. Like I ran outside and like it's pouring down rain. It's windy. Which is funny because our daughter parked her car directly across from our bedroom. So like I'm going, oh my gosh, Tegan's car, and Anthony's going, Trinity. Yeah, once I heard everybody kind of like the commotion, everyone's moving, so I'm like, okay, everyone's cool. Like then I ran outside just to see, and you can't see nothing. It was dark, and
we live in the woods,
and like across the street from us, I mean, there's just a big field right across the street from us, and like you could just hear wind, and I'm like, and I could barely see the trees, and I'm like, okay, good. They fell the other way, but it was just like, oh my gosh.
We live in the woods too, so we don't have city water.
Oh, yeah.
We are on
that's right.
well. It literally missed
I'll try
pump.
I think I could throw some pictures on here.
Yeah.
But it was just...
It literally just like inches missed the pump.
If it would have been like a foot over,
yeah.
Dude, water gone.
Gone.
It just...
So that was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then we had Helene last week, and we lost power. I remember Anthony going to bed because he had to be at work early the next morning. Me and the girls are sitting in the living room, and the power goes off,
yeah.
on, off, on.
And that was it.
And then it went off again, and that was it. Like, it didn't come back on.
I woke up one time, and like, I think there's like a light in here somewhere, but like the light wasn't on, and like you don't hear the air conditioner, and I'm like, damn it. And I'm like, I kind of looked out a little bit from the bed. I could kind of see out the hallway, and I'm like, it was like for like a second, you're like, silence. We ain't got no power. Damn it. And it was just like, well, I'll just go to sleep. And, so I got up in the morning, still no power. Try to get ready for work, and with no power, it was like, I'm grateful for Serena. She gets up every morning and makes my lunch for me, and it was just like, how do you make lunch? It's like you don't want to open up the fridge because you don't want to let all the cold air out.
Yeah.
So it's like it was like quick. It's like it got to the point. It was just like don't open it. Just leave everything out.
Yeah.
Don't put the mustard. Just leave it out. Leave it out.
Yeah.
And so I remember I didn't work a full day.
No, me and the girls left
Yeah.
because we live in an A-frame. Our landlord's it doesn't have central air and heat,
Yeah.
so we have window units. Well, which means we can't open windows.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of windows in our house.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Yeah.
So we can't open any windows because the windows that we do have air conditioners.
And we're like when it gets to be like dusk,
the mosquitoes are terrible.
Terrible. So
we can't open the windows.
So you got like a short time in the morning to open the windows, and that's it.
Yeah. So it's hot. We can't make coffee. The girls are getting hungry. So I was like, fine, let's get in the car and we'll just go we'll just go walk around and we'll go get some breakfast and, everything. So I called Anthony. I was like, I'm taking the girls to get some breakfast and get some coffee, and we're just going to go walk around the store. And if you get off, just let us know. We'll come and pick you up.
And I was off shortly after that.
And so we come home and...
Well, before we went home, we we're like, well, we probably should go. You brought all the water jugs.
Yeah, we have 3-gallon water jugs.
So it's like, let's fill the water up because we still don't know what's going to happen,
Yeah. And so we go do that.
2 big bags of ice, and we go home, and
luckily
the power's on. So we're like,
well, right. We think, yeah, because
so we're like,
our daughter left her bedroom light on.
Yeah.
So we're like, the light's on.
Yeah.
Cool, we got power.
Like, oh my gosh, thank God. And just like,
so we start walking through the house, and we're like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
The bedroom doesn't have power.
So crazy, like after we figure out, so more than half of the house,
the whole upstairs
doesn't have power.
Actually, I can make it a lot easier. The only place in the house that has power is the living room, Ty's bedroom, and Taylor's bedroom. Literally. In the whole entire house.
Yeah, the upstairs, nothing.
That's the only place that has power.
Kitchen, nothing. Washroom, our room, nothing. Yeah.
Oh, one outlet.
Yeah.
In the laundry room, because we have an extension cord plugged up there.
So I remember
one.
So I remember I it wasn't a point of like talking to the landlord. It was almost at the point of like arguing, like full-fledged argue, and I'm like, you need to come down here and look at this.
Oh, because blah, blah, blah. And because we don't have power, the well runs on electricity.
Yeah.
So when there's no power, there's no water.
There's no water. So he come down and he started looking at stuff, and he's like, well, we'll have to see what. And I just like immediately like, no. Just like we got to figure something out. Just like we got 2 freezers here that are been sitting here for like 12 hours or more with no power, and
but luckily they're deep freezers, and so they were staying cold.
They stayed frozen the whole time. Thank goodness. And so like the only option, he wasn't really helping me out.
We had to throw everything in our refrigerator away. Like, it was just...
And he was outside after all this, like, me and him were like, well, he wasn't arguing, but I was like, I was ready for a fight,
And what another thing that nobody knows is our daughter just had surgery, and she's walking around on a walker. So, like...
She basically, like, shattered her pelvis, and...
So, like, we had to have... Like, we can't have extension
This house isn't handicap
accessible.
Yeah, so it's just...
She's limited into the rooms that she can go into. But it's like, I can't have fall zones everywhere for her also. So
the only thing I could, like, as a husband and a father, like, I gotta quick fix this. And the only thing I could think of, I was like, I gotta go to the store and go get some extension cords and just, I didn't know what to do. So I remember I walked outside and I seen our landlord, because they live behind us. And I said to him, I said, hey, in your garage, you got, extension cords. And he's like, yeah, we can go see it. And I was like, no, that's okay. And I just walked right in there and just grabbed like this massive pile of extension cords. And he's standing there. He's kind of like, oh, you're taking them on. And I just walked right by him and threw them in the house. And then it was like, they're all tied and nice. You got to figure it out. So
So we
So
have
basically now we got cords running vice versa, and
we have the refrigerator on a cord. We have our
air
conditioner on a cord. The one freezer, because I cleaned out the other one, the one freezer is on a cord. And it's just like, and you can't turn on like the air fryer or everything. The setup that you're looking at, it's all on a cord.
Because this, like, we have no power. We still don't have no power.
We still don't have any power in our room.
And so basically, to get this set up where I'm going, I had to run an extension cord underneath I unplugged everything. Which you can't see. Like, I have a TV here and from my Xbox, so I had to unplug the Xbox, unplug the TV. So the only thing I got plugged in is the laptop, the camera,
the light,
and something else. Anyway, so I got 4 things hooked up. So I just ran the extension cord right back out here. And then I was
everything's on an extension cord.
Everything's on an extension cord. So
my week?
Yeah.
Not that great.
And I the only thing I could tell myself right now is, which is hard. It's hard to keep telling yourself everything's okay. It's like I'm grateful for what we have because there's so many people.
And that's what he kept saying, our landlord.
I'm trying to so me and the landlord had a discussion. We had to get
all the Wi-Fi is on an extension cord.
So we had to get the electrician out here, and he did that. And the electrician came out and said, "Well, you got to get the power company out here because they have to do something." So the power company is under our name. So I had to call them. So I got somebody out.
Oh, so the power company comes out here and he goes, "So here's the thing," and I went, "Okay." And he goes, and I have Anthony on the phone because he's at work.
I'm working on a Saturday.
So I'm sitting there and he goes, "Your main breaker, it's blown." He's like, "Actually, it's terrible."
Yeah, and so I went, when they flicked the power and they came back in, it basically just like power surged.
Yeah. He says, "You're getting on the top, it's 220, which you're supposed to have." And I was like, "Okay." He's like, "On the bottom, it's 120 because the breaker is just
so
it's not there."
So when that comes from the main breaker to the house, you're losing power. So by the time it gets to the house, there's no it's all gone.
So he goes, "By law,
and a liability,
I have to turn this breaker. I have to turn the power off into this house because if this catches fire, then it's with Lacucci's problem, not yours." And I went, "Of course you do. Yeah, of course you do."
So I talked to the electrician guy, and I wasn't going to be like, "Hey, buddy, do me a solid," And I talked to him, and he told me, he's like, "I'm sorry, sir." And from when I was talking, he was a young kid, and you could just tell from the guy. And I said, "Listen, man,"
he might have been in like his 30s.
But I told him, I was like, "Listen, man, I get it. I know you guys are busy. There's
millions of people
in this. Just in the county, we had like what, over 1 million people?
No, over 1,000 in the county.
And but there was other counties involved.
Yeah.
The state of Florida, I'm sorry, there was like millions of people without power.
Yeah, and then Georgia, North Carolina,
so
South Carolina.
So they got all these power companies here fixing the lines, and these guys are fixing. And I told him, I was like, "Listen, man, I know you guys are busy, and I get it, man." And I was just like, "Is there anything that you can do?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, sir. It's a liability for us." Blah, blah. And I said, and I wasn't even going to argue with the guy. And I said, "I get it, my man. You're doing your job." And I even told him, I was like, "Hey, man, I know it's Saturday and you guys are busy. I really appreciate you guys coming out just to check it out and, do what you." I said, "Do what you got to do, man."
So I walked in the house and our daughter that has had surgery and then our 2 youngest are sitting there and I'm like, "Get dressed." I'm like, we have to leave.
Don't know where we're going.
And they're like, "Well, are we taking the dogs and the cats?" And I was like, "Honestly and truthfully." And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Right now, my main priority is getting you guys out of the house. Then we'll come back and we'll figure out the dogs and the cats and everything else." But I could not see past the kids. Like I got to get the kids dressed and we're going to have to go somewhere. I don't know where we're going to go, but we're going to have to go somewhere.
I'm still at work, And
so I'm just like, "Of course you guys turn my power off." It makes all kinds of sense.
And I told her, I was just like, "Hey, that's what they got to do. There's nothing we can do. Then I hung up with her, and I was trying to finish up at work. Then she calls me right back, and they're like, what do you
I
tell you?
handed the phone. He's like, well, me and him talked about it, and I was like, listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I was like, but if we're gonna have to leave, I'm gonna have to get my kid dressed. I was like, here, can you just talk to my husband? And he's like, yeah. So he talks to
After our
you.
discussion,
Yeah, he talks to you, and he's like, here's the phone back, and I get the phone, and the guy's like, you're like, he said you can stay. He's not gonna turn the power off, but the electrician has to come today. And I was like, okay, well, that's not me. That's
Yeah. So then I called back the landlord and told him what was going on, and it took him. That was Saturday. Obviously, you're not going to get anybody on a Sunday.
Monday or Tuesday. I don't
So it was
remember.
like Tuesday
I think
or
I don't
something.
remember.
The electrician came out and said, like, basically, you need a whole new main breaker. And then they had to go through, the power company. And I was talking to the landlord. I was like, dude, I told you all this, man. It's just like, I told you this was going to happen. It's just like, then he's giving me the, man, there's people without power
I
and
understand.
without lot. I get it. But,
Right now, I'm one of those people.
yeah, so it's just like, so you work all day, and you gotta come home to your kids and your wife, and like, there was a couple days like we were at each other's throat, and like, and it was at a point of like, I don't know what to do. I have no answers, and there's nothing I can do. I just.
And I don't think that it was that we were just at each other's throat. I think we were just both so stressed.
Not sleeping.
Yeah, and the fact that anything you said to me, it was you were just criticizing me. That I just couldn't do anything right.
And I felt that everything that you were saying to me is like she's wanting to fight, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
But it wasn't that. It was just we were just so stressed. Like I stay at home, like so. I know we'll probably get a lot of heat for this. My role in this house is take care of the kids, clean the house, make dinner. These are my roles. Well, I took care of the kids. I cleaned the house. I can't make dinner.
Yeah, we can't do. Yeah.
Like I can't make dinner.
The only thing we can use is the microwave.
And when you put it on for like 2 minutes, it pops everything in the house, and all the power goes out.
The air fryer, you put the air fryer on, it pops
everything in the house. Like, and so like every time it popped, I just got more and more frustrated, and it was like all I want to do is make dinner.
Yeah, and I remember the night that like we finally went to my mom's house, and Serena had the idea of like, I'll just go to your mom's house and I'll make a couple dinners, then we can come back here and just reheat them. And I'm like, hey, that's a great idea. So we went over there. After I had to work all day, I didn't want to go over there. We went over there, and she made a outstanding meatloaf and a chicken pot pie, and the meatloaf looked freaking great.
I thought it was a done.
And it was still raw in the middle. And I'm like, and she lost it. That was it. Just like, I was expecting her to walk out and be like, just throw it up in the air.
I wanted to. I just wanted to cry.
I'm like, ugh.
When these are your like roles,
it's like we can't even eat dinner.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I felt like I was walking down to the landlord's house, dragging them out of their house, and coming down here, like, look, just.
But it was just like when these are your roles, and these are what you're supposed to do, and when you can't do these things, and it's not your fault, the reason why you can't do it, like it's not like I was out all day and I just didn't make dinner. Like I made dinner, but it wasn't done all the way, and I was so like I didn't know what to do. And he's like, just throw it in the microwave, and I'm like, that's not gonna work.
And I'm like, I'm just trying to anything, and I'm like,
and I remember shutting it,
and
the
I'm
door.
Just like, I'm not fighting with you. Like if the kids are out there and we're all out there, I was like, I'm not fighting with you, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. And
like, it was like, and I can see where he thinks that I'm trying to fight, but I wasn't trying to fight, and it was just like
the kids are out there like, Like, what's going on here?
It was just so bad.
Do we have to pick sides? Which is after you think about it, it's just like, that was stupid. It's like, why do we do this? It's like, we've been together so freaking long.
Yeah.
It's just like,
but it's just the stress. It's just stress. I mean, literally, we've went from the 1st of September, woke up in the middle of the night because our daughter was in a car accident.
Oh, man. It hasn't stopped.
It hasn't stopped since then. Like, we 1st of September, the 3rd, the 2nd, I'm flying out there. The 3rd, she's having surgery. The 19th, we're going to a doctor's visit that morning. That afternoon, we're on an airplane. We're flying down here. We get here. 2 days later, there's a hurricane. And I'm like, it just hasn't stopped. Oh, and yeah, we have another one. It's coming straight at us.
So that's what we're dealing with now. So we got they just said it was upgraded to a hurricane
like an hour ago.
What's the name?
Milton.
Milton Bradley is supposed to it's too early to tell, but it's like, they're putting it on track. It's like an hour south of us,
but it could move though.
Oh yeah. It could just like disintegrate. It could move to the left. It could move to the right. It could just come dead on. You don't know.
We don't know.
You don't know.
But now we're sitting here and like today we're at the stores and like everybody's going crazy.
Oh, they were going it was like full-fledged. Like I thought it was a flipping holiday. It was like people were panic buying. They're buying I didn't even see it, but she was like, "Did you see that guy? He had a full cart of toilet paper." I'm like,
yeah. But it's just, but then like our girls are going,
like, what do we do?
They're like, but Mom, we don't have any power.
Yeah.
Like, now what do we do? And I'm like, we'll see. Like, we'll figure this out. If push comes to shove and I have to put the kids in the car and we drive to my dad's house in Tennessee, then that's what we do. Like, we'll figure it out.
That's what I told the kids. It's like, that's what we've always done. Is like,
we'll figure it out. But the best part is, like, we still don't have power. We still don't have, like, hot water. We don't have all these things. And then the landlord texts Anthony and says, "Hey, by the way, the rent's due." And I just laughed in his face.
I was like, "You ain't getting no money from me until you decide to fix all this stuff." So, so here we are. Another storm bearing down on us. So
we'll see.
It's been a stressful week, and
yeah.
I wish I could. I would love to say like everything's gonna be cool, but you don't know.
No. And our daughter, like we were just doing another podcast, and our third born, she texted me and she's like, "Mom," she's at her boyfriend's house and she's like, "Mom," she's like, "What are we doing about this storm? Because everybody else is not coming into work and my manager wants me to come to work."
It's too early to tell.
Like, it's supposed to be here Tuesday. Today is Sunday, or Wednesday. It's supposed to be here Wednesday. Tuesday night, Anthony could be like, I want you and the girls to leave. Like, it could get to that point where Anthony goes, it's just too dangerous for you and the girls to be here, especially our one daughter, the way she is.
But it's another, like, we'll just have to figure out and see what happens. We don't know.
And so it's, we'll see what happens, But I know that we can't go with no power. Like, that just can't happen.
I just don't know what to do. I don't have no, like, from this past week, it's like, I don't have any answers. I don't know what to do. It's just, you got to see what happens, and I know I'm going to go to work tomorrow, and people that I work with, they know, like, kind of what's going on, and they're going to ask me, like, well, what are you guys going to do? It's like, beats the hell out of me. It's like, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know. Like, literally, my boss, he lives like 3 miles, not even 3 miles down the road, and he's like, what are you gonna do, buddy? It's like, I don't know. I don't know. And I can already picture that conversation. It's just, I don't know, man.
So,
but this is how our week has been. I know it's kind of like all over the place. Just something new we wanted to try to do. Like, how was your week? And
not every week will be like this.
Yeah, and we wanted to try to keep it to like 15, 20 minutes, but we've already gone like almost 25 now. So it's like,
but this has been a stressful week.
Yeah. So we would love to come back next week and
tell you that Milton just put all the way around us.
So
we'll see what happens.
We will just have to figure it out.
We will.
So, but what else you got?
That's it.
That's it.
Right now, I'm just trying to figure out this whole hurricane thing.
Yeah. Like today, they said it was like where we're sitting, we're looking out the window, and
it's raining.
It's not raining hard, but it's raining. But they said it was going to be like 80% chance of rain today. I'm just like,
yeah, but it has been like sprinkling and raining all day, so
I don't know.
It's just
that makes it hard for me at work because I work outside, and I can lose a day of work, and that's not cool, especially right now. But we'll figure it out, babe.
We always do.
Yeah. So until next week.
Yeah.
We will see how.
Next week should be a better week, hopefully. Unless there's another one right behind this one, and then.
When does hurricane season stop?
November.
It's literally like the first week in October. So.
Yeah. November.
All right.
Yeah. That's all I got. I'm just hoping that things.
How was your guys this week? Let us know down below. Will you?
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. And till next time.
Stay safe.
Please. What did try not to die?
I can't even think about that one right now.
There's this guy I used to watch on YouTube, and that was like his closing thing. He's like, "Try not to die."
He was a truck driver.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah. What was Pale Rider's thing? Stay safe. That's all we can do.
Kevin's keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise.
We'll see you guys.
Bye.